Welcome to the Gem Collector Show with Shawn, and this is the show you have been looking forward to all Thanksgiving week long. I am that Shawn, and you're going to get ready to see, of course, amazing, neat pieces you've never seen before. But being that this is the Cyber Monday show, which in the cyber world, which of course podcasting is part of, this is the equivalent of Black Friday to the retail market. And therefore, you're going to see pieces you've never seen before, but you're also going to get a chance on discounted deals that you're going to love on items that we have featured before. Because you know what? Sale price. That's what we're supposed to be doing also, is giving you not only sale opportunities, but many of the items to a lot of you may not have ever seen before. They might have been in a previous show. You might be new to the show. And welcome all of those of you who have found this show through YouTube, which now is where we're broadcasting the podcast through, is YouTube. And therefore also you can contact me very simply, Shawn at gemshopping.com. Now, if you want to get to not only this show and others as well, you can of course always go through YouTube, but you can also go to gemshopping.com. Then at the very bottom of the page, there'll be a tab called Learning Center. Click on that. That'll lead you to me. It'll also lead you to the How It's Done series of 30 different episodes. And they will completely, if you watch them all, will give you the entire know-how as far as every kind of mechanical or physical method of creating jewelry or sizing rings or tipping prongs that you would ever wondered about, or anything you would ever work with your goldsmith about. I have covered it. We have covered it in this series. The only thing that it doesn't give you is the actual hands-on talent. But many of you, because I can see by how many times these sites have been visited, many of you have used them for learning tools, which is the whole idea. And they're done, thanks to the director of Maceso, they're done very concisely and in a way that is quick and easy to interpret. Not only did the materials I used, but the method I used, and you get to physically see me doing the work. I had talked about it for many years that I had these goldsmithing abilities, and this is where I put the walk to the talk. And in a very less flowery descriptive way and more concise and direct to the point, again, thanks to us of streamlining it. And I like the way, of course, he guided me to we set out the materials and the tools we were going to use. We showcased those before I did the work. And it was just really a great way, if I was to actually teach the methods that we showcased, it would be a great way to use as a teaching method. Start with your tools and the whether you use solder or the gold, the materials you're going to use, and then the methods of what you do with them. So anyway, enjoy it. If you watch them all, you will be feel like you're an accomplished goldsmith, and you pretty much will be. And so enjoy those. Now, again, since now we are recording this show, specially for next week. Now, in order to do that, being Thanksgiving week, and everybody, of course, wanting time off, it was very gracious of production here at Gem Shopping to be able, especially Asif, being able to create a time slot to be able to record this show. In doing so, it's Tuesday. You're watching this show Monday, Cyber Monday. Well, we had to record this show only the very next day after last week's show. And by having to do that, it didn't give enough time. It doesn't give enough time for everyone to answer the trivia questions or get their comments in. There was only 3 of them I saw when I looked quickly. And one of them, of course, was Mr. Anthony, who, I felt bad. he saw that Udilite piece, and he went to call and get it right away, and it had already sold. He said it was magnificent. So not sure who got it yet. We'll see if anyone admits to be able to getting in on that treasure. But Anthony, sorry that you missed it, and it was a great piece, especially with the astrophyllite in it as well. All right, so we have a lot of exciting things to do. So in other words, no comments, no trivia. We get to go right straight to get to the items. And again, new pieces I've shown before, sale priced items, lots of excitement. You're going to love today's show. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And now let's show you a Cyber Monday special on rocks and minerals. Let's get to the very first item. That first item is, straight to it. First item is going to be item number 101, 0221. 101, 0221. And what a fantastic example of a mineral that you can find in so many places, including right in the backyard of a apartment that I lived in. My son was 4 years old, right in Metro Atlanta off of a road called Holcomb's Bridge Road. It also becomes Jimmy Carter. Very popular road. Everybody knows the road here. Lots of apartments around it. Well, one day I was really kind of bumming out because I had no place with my 4-year-old to rock out. And right down the back hill behind the apartment complex, which, I had to move out of the house. Long story short there. But I moved from a place that there was lots of rock hunting to a place that there was just nothing but houses, it seemed, an apartment complex for a lot of density of people. Okay, so what did I do? I walked down that back hill behind the yard. There was a little creek down there, and in that little creek, I just got to nosing around, and there was 1 inch long, beautiful, beautiful shaped kyanite crystals. And it really restored my faith. There was something that I think was sent from the heavens to me to say that everything was just going to be all right, and I was going to still continue my rock hounding, because it went from a house to an apartment, and that was a tough transition. But after that, what did I do? I wound up on the lake, and of course, many stories for rock hunting from living on Lake Lanier, and we'll get to those stories over time, including the gigantic feldspar deposit that's now about 20 feet underneath the water. All right, this kyanite. The blue is stunning. It is forms wonderful crystals. Now, kyanite will form, look at the color in this. Kyanite will form 2 other well-known minerals, or I should say the chemicals in kyanite, and known as polymorphs. In other words, chemically the same except different by way of their crystal makeup. And that is sillimanite, named after a Yale professor of geology and mineralogy. And then there's also Andalusite, named after a province in Spain, Andalusia, where it was found. And those are the polymorphs. In other words, same chemically except different name. And of this material. Kyanite, wonderful, unusual material, hardness of 7 in one direction, hardness of 5.5 in another. This is a really beautiful blue with a lot of intersecting crystals in it as well. And then you have mica, pretty neat piece. All right, guess what? This is in the discount bargain bin at $24. $24. Just gives you an idea what kind of things we're going to do. We started off with that. We're going to tuck that one away. We'll be right back with the rest of the show. Okay, this is different. Nothing you've seen anything like it before right out of the gate. Look at this sparkle. This is amazing. And this took a little bit of researching. I got this in as an estate piece. I have personally enjoyed it for a number of years. Time to pass it on. Look at this. Mexican selenite. Now, the neat thing is sometimes selenite will form a glaze, like on the rosacite, over other pieces. And it's really, really cool when it does that. And in this case, I thought that's exactly what was going on. That the selenite had formed a crystalline glaze, it almost looks like, over another mineral. But that didn't turn out to be what happened here. Now, this is a quite unusual. Now, I saw this large crystal looming right there, and boy, that was quite different. And that red color was throwing me off. And so then upon looking at this closer in, I'm going to show you as we look into it closer exactly what's going on. When you look at these crystals, great job there, Dave. Close in, look at this. Okay, see that triangular formation? And you start getting to see the reflections. Tells you exactly the form of the crystals. And looking at this at different angles, and then at the edge where there wasn't any red in the crystal so much, I realized that this was nothing but selenite. Nothing but selenite, which is a type of gypsum. And the red came from, yep, look at this. Look at this. A limonite source. Limonite, which is, of course, it is what it looks like, rust. What is rust? Iron oxide. Now, let me show you a better way to be able to confirm that. When you look over here and see the selenite sitting right on the bed of limonite. And when you look at the crystals closer in, you can see them sitting on, look at that, sitting on red limonite. And where there's areas of white crystals, there's no limonite underneath. Now, there is also this formation, if we look right underneath these crystals, that I'll leave it to some of you to do a little bit additional investigation as to what that formation is. But this is a really unusual piece because I have not seen this, but in doing research, I did discover similar type of formations that were from the Santa Eulalia mining district in Mexico. So what you have here in the red is limonite, and in the black you have goethite, which is another polymorph, is another iron oxide. And what a neat specimen, because it's the way it sparkles. It just sparkles, and beautiful, beautiful. Price on this guy, only $68. Only $68. And, you know, gypsum is a calcium sulfate with water. And it is, of course, used in so many uses. And, of course, you have your gypsum board, which is essential to building. You know, that's that sheetrock stuff and whatnot. So there is never-ending uses for gypsum and its chemical properties. So great stuff. Selenite, named after the word for the moon, Selene, and because of its reflective properties. And we know, of course, from those big gypsum or selenite crystals that are like in the Nika mine in Mexico, they can grow huge, they can grow large. And of course, remember the cat's eye spheres that have been in selenite, and you can see optically one direction right through it, and the other direction it creates a cat's eye. Really neat stuff. Only specimen I have like that. Take advantage of it. Okay, now let me show you. This is a made in the USA item, 1037721. And look at this. Look at this piece. Now, this is real unusual, and we've hung on to this item for a lot of different reasons. All right, Iridescent Reynolds County Calcite. That's a good reason right there. Look at this. Yeah, you didn't even notice that at first, did you? Look at this big dog tooth. And they call it a dogtooth calcite because of the shape of it. You can see the shape, and it looks like one of the canine teeth, right? Now look at this iridescence, and Dave is going to bring that out to you and show you just how attractive that is. And look at that. Beautiful iridescence on those calcite crystals. And now Scalenahedron is the official name that they give the a dogtooth calcite crystal. You can see multiple other almost skeletal-like growths right next to it. Look at this, a pagoda formation in a calcite. So both of these chemically the same, two different colors, two different crystalline formations. I always think that's neat about calcite. Now let's go and spin this around one more time. Look at this other crystal across from it. And as we look at this, it's another Scalenahedron or dogtooth with some additional iridescence on it. And then look at the Droozy. This is Droozy Quartz, and it'll even glimmer with even smaller reflections of light, as you can see up here. All those little tiny crystals of Droozy will reflect the light as well. Now look at that little raised area right there. That's kind of neat. And then you can see back here you have a quartzite. Let's go right in here. Let's explore that. Wouldn't it be so neat to just be a little person and walk back in those places? Look at that. That is so cool. Crystals growing right in there. Now, if that crystal wasn't on the edge of it, it would be neat to take a slice off of the end of this. And like 2 slices. Oh, wow. Never mind, there's too much nice, pretty crystalline growth on this. Because slices of something like this will produce really neat consecutive looks to them with the banding of the mixed calcite and quartz. But this has got too many pretty other areas. Look at that. Okay. Wow. All right. Self-displays quite well, as you can see. Price on this guy. This is something for everybody and a sale price. I have never featured this piece before. How would you like it for $18? Yeah, $18. Now that is a Cyber Monday opportunity. By the way, to encourage everybody to watch last week's show, and I'm going to let you in and actually show you what you are going to be playing for. So make sure you watch last week's show and then get your answers in, because this is the freebie. As Dave just takes us in close, look at this. I am giving away this bag, this entire bag of opal. This is the trivia gift for next week. And yeah, look at that. So anyway, I want to see lots of comments. I want to see lots of answers. To be able to answer, just go to Shawn at gemshopping.com or go to gemshopping.com to the Learning Center and or type search and find me that way. Get your answers in. This is what you're playing for the true trivia questions from last week's show. Check them out. And this is a stunning opportunity. How fun, huh? Okay, now, just what a tease, right? Exactly. Now, since I'm doing a little kind of bragging or showing off, I want to feature one more kind of little educational segment here on something that all of us, I talk about, and the reason why Mr. Anthony always says eyes down. Okay, let's talk about Unakite. Now, this isn't for sale. This is a little educational segment that I do here in this show from time to time. Now, Unakite is named after the Utica Mountains of Virginia, where a material was found that was composed of pink feldspar and green epidote. Pink feldspar and epidote, and named Unakite is that material. Now, that material is found kind of worldwide in different places, but it was originally named after the Utica Mountains right here in the United States, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, so remember how I talk about when I go to new construction sites that on weekends when no one's working, and if I see something interesting or I check them out or explore them, well, in this case, I make sure that, I'm not crossing any trespassing signs or anything like that. And if I've ever been questioned, it's all very, oh, okay, you're looking at rocks, no big deal. We don't care, you're looking at rocks. But the way I go in, I have a big four-wheel drive truck. I put my good old boy cap on, which I wear rock picking anyway. I'll have a rock pick, have my boots on. I look like I belong on that construction site, if you know what I mean. So anyway, it's never been an issue. So I found this new area right down the road that had brought in crush and run. Now what crush and run here is, in the South at least, is what they make up the gravel roads with. And it is that basic kind of granite slash, well, it's mostly a granite type pegmatite material that they will mine out of these quarries. Well, we have two local quarries, and one isn't too far away from this site, and Vulcan Quarries operates it. And what they had done was they had dumped some just piles of this gravel. And I stepped out because there was nothing else really to look at except this gravel. And my eyes beamed right in on an area that was kind of pink. All right, so it was pink, so I was thinking, oh, a little bit of feldspar. Well, it only took one other moment to be able to show you this was more than pink. Let me show you something I've never found before as Dave takes us in. Look at this. Here was the pink that I had seen, okay, right? But looking at this closer, you first think algae, maybe, but upon real close inspection, oh, not algae at all. The pink feldspar, and guess what? Yes, that is green epidote. Green epidote, and it is gemmy quality. This, in other words, I could cut a cabochon right out of the face of that using the quartz, the feldspar, and the epidote running through it. Look at this. This side was outstanding, and under even higher magnification, these are gemmy little areas. Look at that green. Look at that. So my thought was, okay, this is a piece I found that in this pile of gravel, how much better specimens were blown up and then put through the crusher. They do. They hit these vugs and pockets, and there's no telling, but they don't stop for anything like mineral collecting. It's these huge giant quarries that are done in, because they're not mining gold, they have a very low margin, very tight margin. So they have to move quantity to be able to make it. But this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about that literally was found just a few miles from our house, and it can be found in your backyard in a particular vein of it. Look at that. So I just wanted to show you, in other words, the green and pink together would be unakite, but as a specimen itself for Georgia epidote, I think that's the first I've ever found right there. So just showing off that eyes down, rocks are where you look for them. And if I had not stopped out of curiosity, just looking at the big pile of crush and run that they dumped. But you know what? It's coming out of a quarry. They put the quarry and mine the quarry for a reason, because it's a special geologic interest and has to be a special geologic type of rock. And in this case, epidote can be found in that type of rock along with feldspar together. And so next time you see a big pile of rock dumped out there, just don't think that it's just another pile of rocks. There's no such thing as just another pile of rocks, as you can see. That's a neat treasure, that first one I've ever found. And hey, that's pretty cool. Next item, 1037521. 1037521. Now, let me show you something else that's a little bit of green. And look at this specimen. Look at this. This is stunning. This is from the Boubeker Mining District of Morocco, and it is stunning. Malachite and feldspar. Look at those crystals. Look at the botryoidal formation to the malachite. There is no place on this specimen that is not very attractive. It's all beautiful. Let's go right down in there, Dave, if we could. Look at the big crystals of Azurite. Look at that, down in that vug. Look at that. I wish I was a little guy just roping off the side of that. I know. That's why I had a tough time dating. Look at these crystals over here. Look at those beauties. This is one of those specimens you get out magnification, which you don't really need. Look how big these are. But for the little places back in there, and you can spin and spin and spin and look at this thing for a long time. See that different green? It'll be a different mineral. You can figure out what it is. Is it chrysocolla? Remember, it's copper. Is it malachite? Check it out. Look at look at this. Look at this. And of course, it goes without saying, is there additional azurite material within what you don't see? Yeah, I would imagine, looking at the concentration and look at how much of it covered. And what you're not seeing is there's little botryoidal green, look at that, formations as well. As Dave takes us, are we all the way in, right down in that little, all right, look at that. Oh, man. Now remember, malachite loves to pseudomorph azurite. So you may see what looks like an azurite crystal and it be malachite. And we've already featured and showcased some of those before. Look at this one. You have these little botryoidal formations. That blue is like no other. Both of these stones have been used going back thousands of years, dating back actually close to 6,000 to 8,000 years ago. The green malachite and the azurite, both crushed up and used for pigmentation, for makeup, for doing murals and painting and all kinds of things and uses. Okay, that self-displays right there so attractively, that blue against the green. That is a beauty. I've been saving that one, and because I'm also offering it at an excellent opportunity. Only $88. Only $88. And again, here, you can see in my hand how big that is, and then just how much there is that it gives. I mean, huge crystals of azurite, which really add value. That big, beautiful little bug down in there, adding more additional value. Because aesthetically, it's extremely attractive for a specimen. So $88 on that guy. Now, sticking with the same kind of material, let's look at 1037621. 1037621. Another azurite and malachite. Let's do a little bit more exploration on this one, and you're going to see some stunning azurite crystals of a couple of different colors. And as we turn this around this way, look at how rich that blue is, and look at the malachite. And you can almost see, and you'd have to look at this close to see if that malachite isn't replacing that azurite. As look at that, see what I mean? As it's coming up the crystal, it could be slowly replacing it. Look, that's so beautiful. That is just so, Mother Nature is amazing, is amazing. And this is limonite. Now, take a soft brush if you want and softly go over this limonite, and you can pull off a lot of it and brighten and clean up that azurite. Don't be totally afraid to do that. Start kind of down at the end like that and work itself over, because, you know, all that brown being limonite, most of it can really be removed with a kind of a soft brush. And wow. Oh, look at this spot. Here we go. This is the money shot on this one. This is Can we get in any more on this? This is Malachite crystals. Look at those crystals. This is one that under magnification, let me sit that right there for a moment, is going to boggle your eyes. And let me just try one thing here. Here we go. Wow, that does work. Look at that. Look at that. How fun. Look at it. It just literally takes my breath away. Thank you, sir. Wow. Wow. Didn't even notice that before. Price on this one, you're not going to believe it. That's why I have items and price ranges for everybody. We have put a sale price on this one. I've never featured or showcased it before. $24. $24. That is indeed a Cyber Monday super sale on that beauty. $24. Now, we are not done with the copper minerals quite yet. Let me show you a very well-known copper mineral. This is item 103821. Look at that. Now, this is, it has to be one of the most attractive copper minerals that exist. And it is, so the color seldom varies. It's almost always right in that color range. And you don't actually see that many faceted stones. Well, it's because the crystals don't get that large. Now, one day I'll bring in the Raven's, because she collects dioptase, the Raven's dioptase specimen that has, she said, but it's only one crystal. Well, yeah, one crystal that's probably, 3/4 of an inch long. It's huge, it's stunning, it's a beautiful piece. Now, dioptase is a copper silicate. So once we're already into the copper silicate, it's going to be a little bit harder material. In 1793, now we know Awi, remember of Awi, Aween fame? That we just showed some Aween last week. He named it for the Greek word for through and to see, for allusion to the visible cleavage planes within the dioptase that you can see. And I actually, well, we'll get into that in a little bit. You'll be able to see that with magnification in some of these crystals. Now, this piece is Dioptase and Calcite. And it is from the well-known Altin Tayub deposit, if that's exactly how they pronounce it. Altin Tayub, it's Tyube. And in the Kazakh language, it means golden hill, because where it was found, it was worked in Neolithic times for copper. So they were able to extract copper. There was not pure copper there. No, it was malachite and cuprite that they were able to figure out. Copper was very difficult to smelt. That's why the copper deposit in Michigan was so important, that people would travel long before. Well, that's what some of the first people that discovered America were copper miners, so to speak, or people looking for and going up the St. Lawrence Seaway for the copper deposits in the Keweenaw Peninsula. And somehow word spread, of course, around this is in the 1400s. Can you imagine? It's not like sending an email, say, hey, we got copper over here, come get some of it. So this piece, let me just show you, if you had no idea, this is what they considered a hill. I guess if you were talking about somewhere like the plains in Kazakhstan, of course, where they have the very famous the horses and the riders, which are stunning. Let me show you a picture of what the Altin tube workings look like. This is it. Look at this. That is where the dioptase is mined from. Look at that plane. That is a plane, as in not airplane, but as in a flat, level field. Now, apparently, this little rise was considered a hill, a golden hill. And this little workings right over here is the deposit for which dioptase, and it had been mined since Neolithic times. Thank you, sir. Great job. It did? Now, this piece came right from, and hopefully you got to see it, came right from that deposit. And it's kind of interesting when you can put a picture, and if you weren't able to see it, just look it up by way of the spelling, and you'll be able to pull up a picture of it. And to think about it, for thousands of years, Neolithic times, they have mined and discovered copper minerals there. This piece is a beautiful, beautiful piece. You can see how large the crystals are. Classic shape, classic color. Now look back underneath here. That's what I like. I like the little hidden treasures. And yes, look at the calcites. Those are calcite crystals. Calcite crystals tucked up underneath there. It almost looks like there's cavemen from the Neolithic times back in there smelting copper from the huge dioptase crystals. I have a big imagination. There's also calcite scattered throughout and back here, and fluorescent. Yes, Mr. Brad and the others of you that love fluorescence, this piece has a stunning reddish orange fluorescence to the calcites. Beautiful specimen. This material is so expensive. This particular piece, no, it's only $68. Dioptase, and if you saw this elsewhere, very, very expensive. Very expensive. And there's a lot of material that floats around as a lower quality. It makes a big difference how the clarity basically to the dioptase. So keep that in mind, and how large the crystals are as well. A stunning specimen for only $68. But now, if you want to take it up a notch, wait till you see item number 1038121. 1038121. Oh, look at this. I am not kidding you. This is something, if I put on there museum quality, it could pass. It could pass for museum quality, but I didn't. It's just a really, really nice, high quality piece of Namibian. Look at this, Namibian dioptase. Now, what is super interesting, for one thing, look at this particular angle right here. That is where something dissolved out, something is not where it used to be. And you can find other areas. Now this all here, this has occurred in the Namibian deposits of dioptase. And look at that, that is etching. That is where another hydrothermal element or another type of mineral came through, maybe acidic, and etched away the dioptase, leaving this pocked type of surface. Now, other times the dioptase is dissolved and another mineral will replace it, and that would be a pseudomorph. And that has happened before as well. Now, what additionally makes this unusual is look at these long dioptase crystals. As we come in closer on this, you'll get to see these long dioptase formations. Then look over here. Look over here. Now let me get my pointer. Over here on this face of this particular crystal, it looks almost, when you turn it like that, like malachite. But when you get the light reflecting off of it, you can see just the really nice surface. You have additional crystallization there. It almost looks like malachite was trying to be part of those dioptase crystals, and but didn't happen all the way. Look at these. These are a wonderful, wonderful cluster of elongated dioptase. Now, you can see the top of some of these have, look at that one, have complete terminations. Others, what often can happen is they hit the top side of the pocket, in other words, the vein, and you'll get a distorted termination in the growth. These, you can see, when they have room, you have a better termination to them. Now, if you haven't noticed, there's something additionally special about this piece. And as we turn this around, we'll see if any of you notice it. See, you can see, like in areas like this, the impression left where there was additional crystallization. Look at this. Let me show you. Look at this, is a perfect example. Look at the outside shape of that. You see the exterior shape? Look at those angles. See that? Those are the exact angles of what a dioptase crystal would be. Look at that. The entire crystal has been dissolved or etched out from where it once was. Now, I say dioptase, I figure dioptase, maybe it was something else. Maybe there's something else in all these areas have completely dissolved away. But look, you can see all these other crystalline areas that were affected by the additional process of another mineral entering or another hydrothermal solution and dissolving or etching them away. Now, what you haven't seen maybe yet, this is also, remember, from the very famous Sumed mine. You'll get that information on your description on your tag. The very famous Sumed mine, which has to be one of Namibia's most famous mines. Now, I think I had showed you a picture of that mine before because it produces a lot of other different minerals. Let me show you if you have not noticed. Look at this right there. You have right there, it is a clear, almost a twin crystal. You see the exterior of it right there? Cerussite. What is cerussite? Remember, it is a lead carbonate. It is the carbonate, there's that crystal, of lead. Just like we have, the carbonate of calcium is calcite. The carbonate of iron is siderite. The carbonate of manganese is rhodochrosite. Well, the carbonate for lead is cerussite, and there is one of the crystals with it. Just that alone adds a tremendous amount of desire, aesthetics, and value to a piece like this. And it's quite rare when you start adding additional minerals to a piece, and it adds rarity to a specimen having that additional mineralization. And so when I found the one, I got to looking around, and wow, that's so neat to see where the etching was. And there is another crystal. Oh, look at, I want to show you this. There's a perfect termination to the top of a diopside crystal, how they're supposed to look. So you have that large one right there. And then there is another one. Let me see if I can spot it, because it had been etched, and so much so that it was actually loose. Yeah, that one's not the one. It was actually loose, but didn't come out. And they were because I tested it and I tried to pull it out, but it had dissolved away. Oh, wow. Hold on. What in the world is that? That is a huge one. Is this the one maybe I'm talking about? Yes. Look at that. There it is. Okay. So it has not come out. I couldn't get it to come out. So let me tell you what had happened. This is kind of geology in motion, literally. Yeah, I can't pull it out, and I don't want to try. But if you can see the sides of it, you can see the striations and the crystallization to it. So down, and look at that, down in that pocket, that hydrothermal solution that etched away everything else, etched away the bonds that held this in and with the dioptase, leaving it loose. Now much longer, and it probably would have been able to be come out, or would have been lost in the pocket altogether. So look at that. That is so cool that you have that. And you know, I thought about, well, I could glue that in there. No, because that's not the way nature finished it. Nature left it like this, and I'm leaving it like this. Look at that. And I suggest you do the same. Cerussite on dioptase, a stunning specimen from a world-renowned location, the Sumed mine in Namibia. This would add a depth to anyone's collection. Price on this, only $148. Only, oh, it does. Look at that. Oh, yeah, who is that person with that? Yeah, he's right. Look at, he talks about the eyes. David just said, pointed out the eyes, the mouth, and then that, I've seen that. I've seen kind of that image before with that headdress up there like that. That's kind of cool. See, in minerals and specimens, kind of like clouds. You can see all kinds of things in them. You turn a different angle, there'll be a whole different view in something like that. Only $148. And by the way, if you, since you have more time than I would have, want to play around, get just a bowl of water. Get not an electric toothbrush, but you know those little things you twirl you can get to clean your teeth out? I brought one in and showed you little tiny brushes. You can get those little brushes and with the water and do it in the water, just so you can see if any of the soil is coming off, and clean up that limonite out of those places and really dress it up more so than it is. All right, take advantage of that piece. It is remarkable. All right, let me take a 1 moment break here so that that can be put up in the special container I have. It. We'll be right back. All right, this is another thing we were, or at least I was seeing some unusual things in it. Okay, but forget that. Look at what it really is. And that is something I have had a long time. Stunning. Chocolate Maceso opal. Also, it has what looks like unusual orange color, like more of the Mexican opals do. This is the early material that was coming out of Ethiopia, long before the Wellow opals. This is early 90s. This is mined and considered great stuff before they found the Wellow field, which was, of course, in the world of African opals, it beat all other opals hands down. But the collectors now, there's so much of that African Wellow opal out there, and there seems to be no end of it in sight at this point. But what there is limited amounts of, that they first said, ooh, and I'm just going to use the word, they poo-pooed it. After finding the Wellow opal, they didn't think anything about the chocolate opal. Well, guess what? Now, chocolate opal's back in. I was able to buy chocolate opal at its low point inexpensively, because you know what happened? Most of it crazed. And that's what gave it a bad name. Crazing in opal is basically, you know, opal has a certain percentage of water in its makeup. And when that water evaporates out, in a lot of cases, it creates a crazed or a crack pattern, but it seldom does it ever actually break the opal. And a lot of times it's just a kind of an internal crazing, makes it look like kind of a jigsaw puzzle. Now, the other unusual thing about the Wellow opal is the fact that it's called a hydrophane opal. Well, opal can absorb and dissipate water to a huge percent. So much so that as far as quality control on selling loose opals, you could sell them at a certain weight depending on how much humidity is in your state at the time, and send them to Arizona, and you get them back and they weigh a lot less because the dry humidity of the desert would pull the moisture out of it. Now, the nice thing is they can do that process back and forth without really hardly ever creating a crazed environment or cracking the opal. And so that's a true hydrophane opal. Now, if you look at opals as a whole, that some people may like that, some others may not. The thing about that sets them apart from the Australian opals is Australian opals don't have that property. And in the world of opal, it is better to not, by way of value, to not be a hydrophane. So people have asked me that, by way of value. Now, if you get an Australian opal that has the fire of a crystal opal like an Ethiopian opal, oh my word, the price is exorbitant. So there's a huge difference in the way they see value. Now, with the chocolate opals, there's no other place to find chocolate opal except the old material that was found in the 90s that Shawn bought up a bunch of, and I've been selling it off, and I have very little of it left. This happens to be one of the neat knobbies that I have left. And as you can see, this has been sawn off on the bottom, so it creates a nice little stand. You can see just this little knobby. It almost looks, if this was found in Coober Pedy or a place where opal replaced fossils, I'd begin to wonder if this wasn't some type of fossil replacement. But it's not. There's not really anything known to be like that in the old chocolate opal fields. But this is a stunning chocolate opal that has not been even what they call rubbed. In other words, the surface polished down. And as we go in closer on it, you'll be able to see, look at the colors, look at the yellow, look at the purple. If I was to just sand off this little bit of surface, see, I don't see any, look at what's underneath that. Look at that. There is no crazing. This is a piece I've had for a decade at least. Stable material. In other words, it's sat dry for a long time. And this orange, I thought it would maybe, because I put it in water to see the difference, maybe would change. But no, it stayed. It stayed orange right across there. The colors that lurk just underneath this sandstone surface have intrigued me to no end. But unless I was just going to start in on it and cut a stone from it, I didn't want to touch the originality of what Mother Nature, which is exactly as you see it, except for the bottom being sawn off. This is a remarkable piece that has all the colors you hope for in an opal. And as you're seeing it with magnification just as I'm seeing it. And so people that can make good judgment, like Mr. Anthony, who's a lapidary as well, I'm not seeing any crazing or any internal flaws in it that would prohibit me from cutting a great stone. Now, you don't know once you get underneath that surface, but that's from the stone cutter's perspective. It looks really amazing and would probably very possibly cut an amazing stone. Now, from the collector, the specimen collector, this is an ooh la la, because you don't need to cut away any material. You don't need to do anything different than just the way it looks. And that is a remarkable play of color to just have sitting in your opal display section of your cabinet, like where I had it. I think it's just a look at that. It shows everything you want a chocolate opal to be. and I have a remarkable price, as I have had on all the other chocolate opal pieces that have, all of them have sold, and rightfully so, because I have priced them to move. And it's only because I bought them when everybody else didn't want them, when the Wellos came out, and you know, they just discarded this material, and I was even buying the craze material, because the craze material even still had beautiful plays of color, and they were huge, they were large, no one wanted them, and I was able to buy them really cheap. This kind cost me a little bit more because it was certainly still gem quality and cuttable, but still I got it at a deal. At a deal means I can turn around and offer it to you. It's over 50 carats. It's right at 20 by 20 by 20 by 20 by 20. No, it is. It's 20 millimeters all the way around. So, wow. I can offer it to you for only $148. $148. That is less than $3 a carat if you look at things that way. Imagine the kind of stone that would cut. That's a, you know what? That's almost a jewel of the Nile. Ethiopia and the Nile River, not too far apart from each other. So, you know, yeah, love that. Love that opal. And I love Romancing the Stone, by the way. I think that's a cool movie. Of course, a cool movie anyway, even though it's kind of a chick flick, but having a big emerald in it as part of the what they were after was made for a good story that pulled in this rockhound. All right, let me show you item 1038221. 1038221. This is something, it's a smaller version of some pieces that I have had bigger versions of. Look at this. Look at these pyrites nestled down in that quartz. And from the very well-known Peruvian deposit, the Wansala mine. And as we take you into the areas down in there, look at that. Okay, so you had to have the pyrite that formed, right? And then you had the quartz that grew around it, trapping those pyrites forever behind those quartz crystals. I love the geology of it all. Look at that. This is so attractive aesthetically. I mean, you know, for fool's gold, wow. What a wonderful specimen this would make for show and tell in school, provided they didn't drop it. It's not totally drop proof. Wondering what that little yellow spot is. All right, just something else. Good, because I was going to freak out. What is that orange mineral? Look at this piece. Now, here's the back of it. Now, remember the difference between pyrite and chalcopyrite. The easiest, quickest way usually to tell is pyrite somewhere, if you have pyrite, is going to form a square cube. It can't help itself but to want to form a cube. Whereas chalcopyrite, its crystal formation is totally different and it will not form a cube shape. And so as soon as you see a cube, you know you're talking about pyrite. Look at that. That is a showy piece, and probably it looks like it wants to sit up on its own. You know how much I want it to sit up on its own. But we'll just put it like that for the moment. Okay, opportunity on this one. That is a whole lot of look, a lot of brightness for $38. $38. Great piece. Great piece. Now, this next piece, I had said I was going to bring one in for Miss Barbara. And if all of you want to give Miss Barbara a day to purchase this, that would be cool, honoring her request. And then if she isn't able to get it after a day, then it's open for anyone else to take advantage of. So at least I can try. If someone sneaks in and gets it, then so be it, I guess. But if you can honor, Miss Barbara's been a loyal member of the Rock family, and give her a chance to get this specimen. Item number 1037321. 1037321. We only give her a day to take advantage of it and get in on it, and after that, let's see if it'll be open to anyone else. Look at this. She had tried to get the Rosacite that I featured the other week, and she missed out on it. Well, I happen to have another specimen, and let me put the price up right away so she can get in on it if she wants it. This one is $118. Now, I'm going to show you. Now, Rosacite was named in 1908 after the discovery of it in the Rosas mine in Sardinia, Italy. And in this one piece, there is 6 minerals. Rosacite in itself is a copper zinc carbonate. Now, remember how we talk about copper carbonates and other? Well, this is a copper zinc carbonate, a combination of the two. Just like dolomite is a magnesium calcium carbonate. So you get those 2 mineral combination carbonates. Now, this is mined in Brubaker, as other specimens you've heard have come from there. But let me show you what makes this additionally special. You have the orange that is the iron, what would be basically an iron dolomite, what they call an iron dolomite. In this case, the dolomite is colored that way due to chalcopyrite. Remember, chalcopyrite is an iron, copper iron sulfide, whereas pyrite is just a iron sulfide. So what happens is, and you can see underneath some of the selenites, like this one right there, you see a brownish enveloped crystal. Well, that is chalcopyrite. And the chalcopyrite basically dissolved, and that is, look at this, where the source for the iron came to create the stained iron dolomites. Look at this. Here is a large chalcopyrite mass enveloped by the selenite crystals, and underneath it is the rosacite. Now, the rosacite, you can see, can be greenish, or look at this, it can be a bluish color tone. That looks like it is actually formed a little rosette even. You can find little botryoidal formations of the rosacite. Look at right there, you can see little botryoidal formations. Very attractive. This entire plate has been covered over in selenite. There's one additional very cool factor and why this one was in our collection. Let me show you. There's 6 minerals, and we have up there only rosacite and selenite. And we talked about the dolomite. Let me show you the one that really got me. Look at that. That is a row of galena. Galena, the lead ore, and why this guy really weighs a lot. Let's go in and show you. Now, galena, if you ever have crystals of galena, and it has like perfect cleavage. You can hit galena and it splinters into all kinds of other baby little galena cubes. Look at this. Look at these pockets back in there and the different minerals, actually. Then look at the side of this. You can see, look at the dolomite, and then this is a perfect example as we come in on this crystal that you can see where part of the crystal is a different color. Well, that's because the bleeding of the chalcopyrite stained the outer portion of the dolomite. In other words, all the dolomite wasn't an iron dolomite from its initial formation, that it was only as the chalcopyrite lent its iron to the mineralization did you get this, not just the surface staining, but additional growth of what is referred to as a iron dolomite. So dolomite with more iron in its composition. You can see a perfect crystal of dolomite right there. And then the wonderful selenite over the surface. And you can see that gleaming everywhere, that glass selenite coating that formed a kind of a protective barrier over it all. And look at these beautiful, beautiful blue color tones. Wow, look at this. Let's go back in there if we could for a moment. And go, it looks like a canyon. Can we go right back in there anymore? We're all the way in. All right, good deal. Look at the crystals right there, too. Now, here is, because I couldn't get them all on the tag. So if you're getting this specimen, whoever gets this, listen to me verbally so you can write down everything that's in this piece. Look at those crystals right there. And this is, there could be more than this. So there's 6 different minerals. Oh, I did get most of them on the tag. Rossicite, selenite, dolomite, chalcopyrite, calcite, and galena. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's them all. So, wow, a 6 specimen, 6 mineral specimen. That's really cool. And you know what? I think there's actually more than the 6. Right down here, I think it is, there's something else. There is something else going on. But nevertheless, what a fantastic piece. Leaves you a lot of exploration to study and figure this one out itself. Look at that. That is a really neat area of chalcopyrite covered up with the, just a stunning, stunning piece. Malachite, there could be some malachite in there. That's probably for certain that there is some malachite, which of course is the copper carbonate itself. Probably mixed in there. You'll see the crystalline form will be more striated crystals, but it could also be some botryoidal. That's where you have to use, let me show you. This is one of my favorite tools right here, and I made part of it. It's lighted and it also has a UV light. You can see this particular lens here has a really broad field of view. It is 30 power. A regular jeweler's loupe is 10 power, right? 30 power. This one is 60 power. So it's almost like a mini microscope. This switch is fluorescent and for regular light that comes out from down here. Sometimes it takes a higher magnification, and it's nice to have something that portable to be able to view it in a higher magnification. Now, this next item I have, well, there's so many things I want to feature here. Now, let me show you this guy. This next one is one of the prettier colors from my Made in America collection of all the different minerals. This is item number 1027321. Wow. Yep. 1027321. 1027321. Look at that green. Now that looks like a Savorite green, doesn't it? I mean, that is eye-popping green. Wow. Okay, Kona Calcite. Kona Calcite is this, really some of the best in the world, is pretty much only found at the Utah location and mine, the Gold Hill mine. This piece happens to have calcite, quartz, and azurite as just a few of the other minerals with it. And as we come in close on this, you're going to see most kind of calcite is made up of just this small Droozy type of crystals. But under magnification, they are exquisite, exquisite looking crystals that just make your heart dance when you see them. You just, doesn't do it justice. Let me look. Let me see what we can show you here with my handy. There we go. Look at that. Here we go. You can. with Dave's assistance. There you go. This is going to be, wow, what a great shot he is giving you right now. See the little botryoidal formation of crystals? You could have never seen that. As we take you on a little trip, look at that. Dave, follow me, incredible. This is a remarkable, wow, that's perfect. I think everybody gets the idea right there. You see the difference magnification can make? Thank you, sir. Wow, what a piece. And look, we weren't even near the other bright area. We were just traveling across that part of Mars. Now, this from the Gold Hill mine is a classic. And this particular specimen, look at this side to it. Look at this side. Dave, I can't help it. We have to go one more place. I have to go in the cave. Let's go. Dave already knew where we were headed. He already knew. Whoa, worth it, exactly. That was so worth the trip inside that. This is what I'm talking about. See what I mean about the crystals? That is like no other when you see those. Could you imagine? Look at that, how beautiful. How beautiful. See, let me just try it. In this shot, we can't, look at the other colors. Oh, look at that other color, blue. Oh, you are onto something. Look what Dave found. Huh, that's interesting. That would be something to check out. Let's see how big it is without, wow. Okay, kind of gets lost, but that is definitely a separate mineral right there. And beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Now, look at the other pockets. So you can see Kona Calcite forms and any little vugs that it can find as well. And this piece from Utah is especially unique because in all the samples I've seen about Kona Calcite, it really goes back to this particular location for some of the world's best examples. And you can see for this one to have Kona Calcite on, 3 sides of it, that's unique because you can see it's just being cracked. Let's go right in this one more here. This is one, yeah, look at that. That you can really, look at the 2 different colors making that other one, probably a different mineral. Here's the Azurite. If you wondered where the Azurite, when I said it, that's it right there. So another copper mineral. Neat piece. All right. You can have, oh, there's some more Azurite right there. Could be Linerite. You'd have to kind of check that out. But it is one of those minerals that you don't expect to find. It's not one that have large crystals. Price on this guy, it's an excellent opportunity. We're going to make this one only $54. You know what? Let's do this. Let's sale price it. I don't know if I can, what I can get out of it more, but let's make it $44. Only $44. And my goodness. Now, Kona Calcite, it has a hardness of 4 to 5, and it is a, it occurs with limonite, malachite, adamite, olevinite, and again, it's only found really in these small formations, small crystals. So it's a calcium copper arsenate, technically. So yeah, there's, of course, you're getting that beautiful green with the copper. So it's a calcium carbonate arsenate, but don't be afraid of the word arsenate in general. So named by Berthaupt, of Berthauptite fame. Of course, you keep hearing these names, and they were famous mineralogists during their time. Berthauptite, And anyway, he named it, and I like it because you use the Greek word for powder, which is chorus, and copper, which is calcos. So in allusion to its composition and appearance of the mineral at times. So how they got to the name through Kona Calcite, using Greek words again, which of course gives you information in the name, which I like. All right, beautiful piece. Now, sticking with green, you know what? I don't think I have ever showcased this next mineral, and it might be a mineral you can add to your collection if you don't have it. 1037821. And Arkansas produces and mines the best in the world Wavelite. Incredible, incredible Wavelite. And this specimen is magnificent. Magnificent. And as we go in closer on this, you're going to be able to see just why it is so impressive. Okay, so here is those little rounded formations split in half. And you can see that it kind of looks like some of the other minerals like prehnite. Prehnite that will have the fibrous array. There's where a larger one was coming out and away from it. Or like, look at that. Look at those. Here is, wow, look at the surface. Okay, now, this is a natural surface to it. And you can see how they form and grow as a crystal with the striated fibrous pattern coming out from the center. And if they continue to grow, they'll grow in kind of almost a botryoidal rounded formation. And when the crystals are split, you can see again that pattern, that array of crystals from the center outwards. You can see half of one there. Now, the amazing thing, this is part of my Made in America collection because Arkansas produces some of the world's finest, if not the finest, Wavelite. And let me show you the tag that goes with this. And I'm keeping it in a bag to keep it in good shape because there is value to the tag. Let me tell you, Wavelite is an aluminum phosphate, basically. Aluminum phosphate also has some fluorine in its composition. It was named for the naturalist in 1805 for Dr. Wavell, who was the discoverer of it. So it was found quite some time ago, but the best in the world is from Montgomery County, the Malden Mountain Quarry, exactly where this specimen came from. Now, let me show you an example of a tag and why you keep them. This is the tag that came with this, Montgomery County, Arkansas. Now, this is written ex Chris Wright. So for those of you that aren't familiar, as soon as I saw that, I knew who that person is and who that refers to. This specimen was part of Chris Wright's collection at the time. And many of you, if you've been around in the rock and mineral business, will have heard of Chris Wright when I tell you his affiliation as the owner of Wright's Rock Shop. Wright's Rock Shop. Wright's Rock Shop, as far as in the collecting mineral world and circles, is right up there at the top with some of the biggest dealers and some of the collectors of the finest specimens there is. And you can pretty much go and pick a mineral specimen and then in the search engine type in the name and you can see many of the different specimens. that he's owned of different minerals, because his name will come up as part of the provenance of different mineral specimens. He actually had one that looked very similar to this one. I thought for a moment this one was actually featured as the specimen used in a prominent database, but it wasn't. It was very similar and close to it though. But this one, so you're going to have as part of the provenance to this, an ex Chris Wright piece and ex Shawn piece. So it's got a good provenance. Only $118. $118. Let's give you another tour of it. It is, in the world of Wavelite, one of the really finest specimens. It is certainly from one of the finest locations you could ever hope for. And as the specimen goes, the color green, the translucency to the green is all very, very important. And to have a representation of the natural exterior, which you're getting right here. And you can see all these perfectly half spherical growths of the crystals, and it really gives you a good idea of their formation. And look at that. This is one of those pieces, again, you start looking at it close up and you will spend a great deal of time checking it out. Can we look at one more spot right here on the end? Yep, got my curiosity up, rightfully so. Look at that. That would be something, if whoever gets this, to check that out a little closer. All right, yes indeed. What a neat piece, and again, a really great provenance to that item. Wow. All right, let me tuck that one away safely. I'll be right back. All right, so sticking with the copper minerals, let's look at what crystallized malachite looks like. Not fibrous malachite, but malachite with crystals. As we go in close on this one, this is one now that, of course, you can see the beautiful crystals as they are easily, with additional magnification, even more so. Plus a little azurite you can see poking out right there. Now, this, it's amazing. When you look up at these closely, it looks like little emerald crystals. They are so gorgeous. You have no idea that malachite even can form those kind of clear, translucent, transparent crystals. Look at them. But it does. It does. Look at that malachite right there. You can have so much fun looking at this, and the colors are mind-blowing. Okay, and then down here there's more. And then over here, okay, now this, I was telling Raven that would easily clean up a lot more just with a soft toothbrush. That's just some limonite down in there, and you can clean that up a lot, and that's part of learning how to do specimen preparation. Can't leave it to everybody else. Time is money, and sometimes places actually have very little water where a lot of these things are mined. So you get just a cursory cleanup, and then a lot of the rest is left to other people down the dealer circuit. You can see azurite coming in right there. And then as we come in close on this again, you can see how attractive that is. And then look back in the cave there, additional malachite. Look at the size of that crystal. Look at that big malachite crystal right there. And then additional ones all up there. Look at down there in that limonite cave. Oh man. So this showy piece, it could, oh, look at the, oh, even showier. Look at that. Ah, love this stuff. Look at that. Now, when you see other colors like that, yeah, there's every bit of potential for it to be a chrysocolla or another one of the copper minerals. Look at that material right there. Copper can form so many other, copper minerals form so many other secondary minerals down the line as they oxidize or other things become present in the environment. And you can really end up with a lot of other different minerals together. This, how about this? $28. $28. That would go be an excellent addition to a copper collection, even if you had malachite, but maybe you didn't have crystalline malachite in a form like that. Now, let me show you. This is a real rarity from an estate. Item 1032321. 1032321. Look at this. Okay, now you can see how old the box is. That's an old perky box, and it comes with the label. Desclorzite from the Burke-Aucus mine, Grootfontein, SWA, meaning Southwest Africa. That means that was prior to 1990 when the name for Southwest Africa became Namibia. So that can date this piece to actually being older than that. Desclorzite, the mine closed in 1978 altogether. And Desclorzite is a lead zinc vanadate. In other words, has vanadium in it, along with lead and zinc as well. It's a hardness 3.5. Named in honor in 1854 for Alfred de Cloizeau, and hence the name Desclorzite. Before 1990, the independence of Southwest Africa is the name they used for what is now Namibia. So with that tag, again, that is certainly something you always want to keep up with, because that's history and it dates it. The Burke-Aucus mine closed now, adding value to the specimen as well. This specimen is really unique. A couple of things that I find interesting is it has lead, zinc, and vanadium all in one. Now, let's look at this close up, because this is extremely impressive for this mineral specimen that it is. Look at that. Look at how well formed those crystals are. And again, when you think older than 1990, I mean, that's already, 30, 35 plus years old at least. And with the mine being closed in 1978, okay, so that puts it now being mined prior to 1978. So we're even talking now 40, close to 45 years at the minimum old. And what the point I'm making is, once the mine is closed, specimens quit coming out of it, right? And so the specimens that are in the market, let me show you this. Look at this. It has the other color this can be found in when it isn't so oxidized. Look at how beautiful that is. This is what makes this piece so rare. You have both colors. Look at the red tips. Look at the red tips. So when a mine closes, the minerals that are in the out in the market at the time is all that there's going to be, right? So they get absorbed into collections, into museums, into people like me, and they become unavailable a lot of times for forever, like in museums. Other times only occasionally when people die and estates are sold or change hands. If the new generation doesn't want these pieces, look at that. I am just fascinated by the crystallization and the formation and the color right through there. That's really, really attractive. And then when you look back here and you look, these are little crystals along here. I looked at it close up, and look at all these little sparkly things. See all these little, that's going to be the beginning of a crystal You can see all the little sparkles. So this was going to be a double-sided piece. You could look at those little calcites. It looks like that are growing. Yep, I have calcite up there, so I already checked that out for you. This is a remarkably rare piece with the provenance very easy to trace and to the age of it. Label and everything. Beautiful, beautiful item. Price on this. This is an excellent opportunity at only $138. $138 on that. And wow, a real rarity that can do nothing but become more rare for the very fact that the mine is closed, has been closed. And again, this wouldn't be available if it wasn't me parting with one. It's the only one I have in my collection. So one ends up becoming available. Try to go to a show. Try to find some of this at other locations. No. Try to even find it on the internet. Oh, no. And if so, very, very expensive kind of material. Let me show you this next item. Item 981920. 981920. Okay. Now, this is a remarkable rarity. This is a real treat. Colorado Smoky Quartz and Girthite along with Specular Hematite. You know, when I first saw Specular Hematite, I used to think that it was a synthetic item because it just looked fake. But then, of course, with time and knowledge came the fact that no, Specular Hematite is a real form of hematite. And okay, so your Specular Hematite is this bright reflective area right down through the middle. Now, the Girthite, which is found with this as well, are going to be more of the black solid areas in this piece. And when I see some, I'll show you. You can, there's some right along the edge. You can see there. It's, if there was a lot of Girthite, you know how it can be like limonite, or it can be more solid and not have any kind of material come off it at all. Let's look at these Smoky Quartz crystals. This is from the Dreamtime claim. The Dreamtime claim, of course, is so well known for its Amazonite. But along with the with the Amazonites, you know, out in Colorado, comes Smoky Quartz in so many of the Amazonite specimens. Well, along with the Smoky Quartz is also can be found this Specular Hematite and Girthite specimens. Look at these. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece of double-sided even. Smoky Quartz everywhere. And this, you know for a fact, will be natural color Smoky Quartz, none of the irradiated stuff that's so dark and so black you can't even see any smoky color in it. That's the first sign you know, for those of you that don't know, that Smoky Quartz will be irradiated, is the black is super, super saturated. Look at these beautiful little colors like the purple coming out of there right there. There's some really, look at it, great iridescence and flashes in color. There's very little Girthite I see that is on this specimen, mostly Specular Hematite that I see. What a great piece. What a great piece. You know what? I'm going to put this on sale. I am going to sale price this guy. Why not? We haven't done many sale items today. This one is going to be a big time opportunity. We're going to mark it down to only, let's do this, $48. From $64 to $48. Now, for those of you that want to take it up a notch, yep, I have something. Item number 1038421. 1038421. Look at this. Yeah, a bigger version of the same. Wow. Wow. Look at this. Can you imagine? You could imagine, though, when they found Amazonite, the clash of colors, not the clash, but really the how beautiful the two colors would go together. The dark with the bright in the Amazonite. Okay, wow, look at this. Okay, right there, let me get my little pointer. All right, so this, right down in there, here you go. Here's your goethite back in there. The solid black areas. Look at the smoky quartz. There's smoky quartz in here that I am sure will have goethite inclusions in it. There'll be phantoms in these smokies. I had spotted some in a piece. Without a doubt, it wouldn't take long to find additional phantoms in this. This has a lot larger crystals than that other one I had just seen. And as we turn this around, there is crystals on all sides. Okay, so there's the goethite, and here is the specular hematite. That's right next to each other, how you can tell the difference. Just that solid black, or you have that wonderful flashy hematite that is known as, look at all that, specular hematite. Look at these pockets. Look at the size of those quartz crystals. And as we come away from this specimen a little bit, you'll be able to see, look at this, let me just spin this, just how crystallized this is. In other words, every opportunity that the quartz found a pocket or an opening, it started forming crystals. This piece self-displays beautifully at so many different angles. I mean, there's not a side that you can set it on that it's not attractive. Look at that. And there's so many different ways, yeah, look at that, that it's displayable with its, look at that. Wow, that's that one might be my choice. But I don't know, maybe this side. That's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. All right, price on this one, I have it at such an excellent opportunity. Yeah, you better love it. $118. Only $118 from the Dreamtime claim and Colorado Smoky Quartz. I used to live in Colorado. But at the time, those deposits and the aquamarine and all had not been found. So yeah, there's still a lot of great material out there that can be found. Now, let me show you, I have next a something kind of fun. Item number 1022721. Look at this. How about a pair of earrings? These straight from the Raven collection. And you can see how the amethyst drops are just nestled inside the double hoop earrings. And price on these, a lot of silver. How about this? I'm going to discount them and make them, oh wow, $48. Only $48 on those. Take advantage of them. Take advantage of them. All right, next, 1026421. 1026421. Look at this. Wow. Small but mighty right there. Look at that zircon crystal. That is stunning. Look at how big that is. Now, if you love fluorescence, these fluoresce an amazing yellow. Beautiful yellow under shortwave. You have biotite mica on the back, plus some additional ones. And this allows you to be able to, I'm going to put this on sale price, special Cyber Monday opportunity. How would you like this for $34? $34. Look at the size of that. Neat crystals all around it. That is inexpensive. Now, I'm going to show you something that is a perfect gift idea for for kids, grandkids. It is item 102. How many of these do we have? 102. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get the right size. Oh, yep. Hold on. Wrong number. This is number 681517. 681517. And how many? We only have 8? Wow. I thought we had more. We're going to check on the quantity. Let me show you what we are offering you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And would you bring the box over, please? Yep. We couldn't help ourselves. This is one of our big sellers at this time of year, because if you're wondering what to get your grandchild or even your older adult child, this might be just the kind of gift to give. These are the largest ones, if I could have those others. These are the largest size. Now, we have not offered this size. To give you an idea in the difference in size, this is the small size, and this is the large. So you might have bought a small size before, but I want to show you that we do offer this in a larger size to give you an idea what they all, what they look like, just for in general reference. Are these all? Okay. In general reference for size, you can see that no matter which one you get, they're going to be a very natural looking item. In other words, they look like the turtle just did its business a couple of hours ago. And they come in the little label box, and this is it's better than a baby Ruth in a pool, let me tell you. These will really fool someone. And, you know, they're perfectly clinically, sterilely clean. You know, you can, you know, wipe them and then go cut the Thanksgiving turkey if you wanted to. The neat thing is they're completely natural. They're from the Pliocene era in Madagascar, and they roughly are 2 inches or so. Oh, wait, this is the ones they are. This is the ones, that's not the right ones. Okay, all right, so let me get the quantity right. That's the medium size. We're not offering that size. The item number you see up there is the correct item number. This is the box I wanted to show you. This is the larger size. I didn't think that they went with that. Yeah. Here is the larger size. You can see this is the one that we took it from. And this is everything that we have. So, yeah, we wanted to offer, we've never offered this largest size. You can see the difference between the largest size or the smallest size. The other one you saw was, the other box I showed you was the medium size, but we're not working with those right now. We just want to offer you the largest size ones. These are really, really natural, again, looking like I had said. And this is the choice of everything that we have for quantity in this large size. Now, I have these at a incredible sale price. Yeah, incredible sale price of only, let me see that. I want to make sure I get, yeah, $15 each. $15 each as a special Thanksgiving, Cyber Monday. Doesn't matter which one you get. They all are the real deal. Now, you want to have a lot of fun with your grandchildren, and if you want a ha-ha gift, or you could even get these to give later on in the year if you know, want to pull a ha-ha gift on someone in the office, or a yuck it up gift if someone is retiring, and you know, that kind of gift. They make it perfect for that as well. Great show and tell gift for the kids at school. Also, it may be very well be the item, and I'm truthful about this. I'm not kidding. It may very well be the item that draws them into everything from paleontology to geology, mineralogy. You know, the love of rocks and minerals and fossils, it all goes together. And you never know what is the click, what actually makes them interested. And they may later on in life say, well, you wouldn't believe it. But, you know, a piece of reptile dung, you never know what it does. But for only $15, you can't go wrong. You can get that much in the laughs at a good evening party, at Christmas party at the house. So many different ways you can get your money's worth out of these. that I can't even tell you. You use your imagination. I'm sure it'll work. All right, let me tuck these away, and I'll be right back with the next item. All right, so we don't have much time left. So let's see what we can get and show you. Okay, now, a lot of you probably love that rosacite, but you know what? I was pricing that rosacite out on the World Wide Web. Well, boy, I tell you what, I did not realize how valuable this material was. Let's go in a little closer and show you a piece. I pulled out a piece and trying to make it more available to those of you with maybe a little bit different budget. Look at this. You can see that beautiful selenite across the entire surface. You have the gorgeous rosacite, and as you can see, here's some wonderful, wonderful little botryoidal clusters of the material that is covered. Then you have the iron dolomite, and you also will have your, look at that, your chalcopyrite right underneath there. Chalcopyrite breaking down is what gives you the iron content. And wow, look at this. You can have a lot of fun looking and researching. Oh, I believe there's some galena in this as well. Look at that. This is also one to be able to take and see what fluoresces and what doesn't. Look at that. Azurite. Could be malachite. Lots of fun on this one. Lots of fun. Ready for a price? This is one I definitely did a sale price for you, $38. Only $38 on that. Now, what I'm going to show you next, I have not showed in a long time because I had changed my mind whether to keep it. So I kept it for a little while longer, enjoyed it a little while longer. Well, let's see if anybody is interested in this, and then maybe I'll keep it a while longer again. 829-318, 829-318. This is, of course, from my personal collection. First, let me show you. It comes in what they call a Riker mount box. So, let's see. We have 829-318. 829-318. All right, so it comes in a Riker mount box. This is a true gemstone knife. When you talk about gemstone knives, I've seen these knives that are all metal and they'll have one little gemstone in them or something like this. No, this is where the entire knife handle, everything is from a rock or a mineral or a gemstone. And boy, oh boy, a friend of mine and his wife hand do these, hand make these. This is called hafting. His wife hafts the item, which is the attaching of the blade to the handle. Both are notched to fit in together. Let me show you this blade. Look at that. That is gold sheen obsidian. And I tell you what, when you make something out of obsidian, which is a volcanic glass, the edge of that knife will cut you as quick as regular steel will. And that's why the Neolithic and ancient cultures used volcanic glass, obsidian, for so many things. This is done by not flint knapping, where you actually take a rock against rock. This is done by pressure knapping. That's where you take another rock or a piece of metal and you, with pressure, push on it and you flake it away. You can see how this has been flaked away, one flake at a time, until you develop an edge. It is so easy to actually just get to the end and break off a piece. You got to start all over. Look at that. Look at the gold sheen in that. Now, as we take you into the handle, this is what's so special. I love the handle. I actually saw the piece for Kelly. His signature is right there on him, KJ. Right there. Now, this is from a material called Dioptase, and in this Dioptase also runs Epidote, but the most important thing that runs is silver. Look at the silver. That is a vein of silver running through there. Then look at this. This is, if you can see the reflection off of it, an entire, look at that patch of silver right there. Back here, you have more silver. Look at the silver running through there. More, look at that. That's all silver you see reflecting back out of that piece. And this, the silver material, that comes from Cobalt, Ontario, which you know well because I have offered Dioptase and other materials from the that area. Look at that. Look at that vein. There's another vein of silver. Look at the polish that Kelly was able to, look at more silver right there, able to get on this Dioptase, which is incredible material to be able to get that high of a polish. Look at all these silver veins. That is so neat. It feels so good. It's so comfortable to hold, and it's got that little light greenish color tone. Look at that. Now, how would you like to have that knife in your house? Oh my, that would do anything a regular knife would do, and it is sharp, sharp, sharp. Look at how large that is. That's one of the largest ones. Every bit of this was hand created, hand done by American artists, and that's really what helps make this piece as special as it is. It is a remarkable, remarkable work of art. And I tell you what, there's no one else that I know could do this kind of workmanship on everything being hand done and made in America by friends of mine. You know, I've been selling these knives for over a decade. I have sold them, some of them with boulder opal handles. Some of these I have sold for $7,000 and $8,000. Tremendous pieces and works of art. Right now, this is one of the best deals. You have me at a point where I need to, well, I guess I need some Christmas money and money to pay the bills, and this past year's been difficult for me. So I am turning loose of some of my true objects of art. This is one of them, and I have it marked down to a price that I am absolutely ashamed to even offer it for this low, because this is one of those works of art that can command pretty much any price you put on it, because it's one of those deals. Well, go find another one. There's not another one. One of a kind. Silver handle piece, gold sheen obsidian. There's just Anyway, just do me a favor, take this off my hands so I don't have to labor over it any longer of selling it, not selling it. I'm going to offer it at a price that you should jump on it straight away. Only $428. Only $428. Comes in the Riker mount case. What a magnificent, true Mother Nature's work of art all the way around. And then what Mother Nature didn't do, two friends of mine, man and woman, did. And what a beauty. All right, one more last item to show you. And I don't even know where I would begin or finish or start with, but I tell you what, we're going to keep it inexpensive. Item number 101-9421. 101-9421. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Here's a beautiful combination of dolomite. Dolomite is a calcium magnesium carbonate. We've talked about dolomite. Well, look at how beautiful dolomite is, and when we come in close, when it crystallizes. Named after the French mineralogist Guy Dolomieu. And it was found, the specimen was found in Egypt during Napoleon's expedition in 1798. Look at this specimen. This is from Reynolds County, Missouri. And look at this. When you look at these to see whether they're chalcopyrites or pyrites, if you do not see any of those in cube shape, and you can look and look and look. You see these triangles? That's going to tell you that it's not. And then you see a little bit of iridescence on them. The copper in the chalcopyrite, allowing that to happen. Look at those wonderful, wonderful dolomites in the form that they are known to commonly form in. Look at it, sprinkled really nicely all the way around. And we're going to finish this at a price that anyone would be happy to have. This is a made in America specimen. Take it away for $38. $38. Now, with that, that'll be the end of the show. And let me just wrap it up and tell you that I wish all of you a wonderful continued holiday. And Black Friday has come and gone, but this is Cyber Monday now, and it's time to do your shopping with places from anywhere from right here. Keep it easy on yourself because all your shopping can be done from where you're sitting here, and you can enjoy all of Gem Shopping's offerings, which we take it from the ground up. And by that, I mean you get to see what the rough, raw specimens look like to the beautiful finished jewelry and gemstones in the live shows. If you leave your comments with me at Shawn at gemshopping.com to see the episodes, don't forget to go to the homepage, go to the bottom to the Learning Center, and then you'll be able to see the How It's Done series I've created. Also, don't forget to watch past shows. If the item is available, you can call up 24/7, the number on your screen. If the item's available, we'll get it, find it for you, and make it yours. Keep that in mind. So, again, take advantage of the opportunities I've offered you today. Didn't get to nearly as many different items as I want, but we're going to continue doing some sale pricing in the coming show. I wish all of you a wonderful and blessed week ahead. Take care.